So quadratic functions So a quadratic function in one variable or in a single variable x is a function of the form f of x equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Here a, b and c, so a is not equal to 0 and a, b and c are the coefficients of x or other coefficients of the equation. So here are some examples of the quadratic functions. The first one, x squared minus 3x plus 1. So a is 1, b is negative 3, and c is 1. So the function has to be in standard form, which is the descending order of degrees. So degrees, square degree, then you have a linear, and then you have a constant. Another equation, gt equal to negative 2t squared plus 4. A is negative 2, b is, there's no b, and c is 4. B is 0 because there's no b. The third one here, hp is 4 minus 2p minus p squared. A is negative 1, b is negative 2, and c is 4. Remember, it should be in standard form. So the negative p squared minus 2p plus 4, that's the standard form. So the important thing here is it should be in standard form, then you figure out the a, b, and c. Now we're going to learn how to graph a quadratic function. So before we start graphing it, and we'll learn this more in detail later on, but let's say I have to graph a function, right? A quadratic function. We need to learn about this graph, like how will it look like, right? What's the shape of this graph going to be? Is it going to be a line or is it going to be something else? So the first thing we learn is it's a parabola, which is a U-shaped graph. So f of x equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, which is a quadratic function. So now a is very important. If a is positive, the parabola opens up. So a is positive, parabola opens up. And when a is negative, then the parabola opens down. So it depends on a. If it opens up or it opens down. Okay? The vertex of a parabola, that's the tip of the U. So if the parabola opens up or the parabola opens down, you can see that tip, right? So that's a point at the um, so later on you'll learn more about it, but when it opens up, that parabola point, the vertex point is the minimum, and if parabola opens down, then it's the maximum. All right. And there's a process for finding the vertex, which we will do, right? So that's the vertex. That's the point. I'm going to show you now. That's the vertex. So in this case, it's a minimum. So when the parabola opens up, there's a minimum. When a parabola opens down, it's a maximum. The axis of symmetry, it is a vertical line which passes through the vertex. To understand the concept of an axis of symmetry, think about the word folding. So think about folding the graph halfway into two parts. Okay, so now we're going to see, okay, how does this vertex, how do you find out the vertex and then the axis of symmetry? So the vertex of the parabola, we talked about this before also, but to find it, there is a formula for that. So if the function is f of x is ax squared plus bx plus c, so the coordinates of the vertex are given to as the formula negative b over 2a and then f of negative b over 2a. Okay. So basically find the x coordinate first and then find the y coordinate. So here it is, find the vertex of the parabola y equal to negative 3x squared plus 6x plus 1. Negative 3, y, write the equation, and then we're going to find out the a, the b, and the c. C we don't even need, sorry, it's just a habit of saying that. Negative b over 2a, right? Negative 6 over 2 times negative 3. That will give you negative 6 over negative 6, which gives you a 1. And now to find the y, you plug the 1 back in the equation and then use PEMDAS after that. negative 3 times 1 plus 6 plus 1, negative 3 plus 6 plus 1, negative 3 plus 7, which is 4. So the vertex is 1 comma 4. Okay. Now the next thing is how to find the x-intercepts. So the whole thing that I'm going to talk about here is once x-intercepts are the points on the x-axis, right? So there's two ways of doing that, but I'm going to show you my favorite way, which is the algebraic method, and then I'll show you the graphing method. So basically what it means by x-intercepts is that the graph, the U-shaped graph, right, parabola, is going to intersect the x-axis at 2 points, and those 2 points are called the x-intercepts. So using the algebraic method, we'll put the equation equal to 0, and then we'll solve for x. Okay, so let's try using the algebraic method, and then on the next page I'll show you how to do the graphing method. Algebraic method is still the favorite method, I feel. So find the x-intercepts. To find the x-intercept, first of all, there's two ways, as I said. Algebraic way, graphing way. So let me show you both. So first, the equation that they give you, you put that equal to 0. And then you do the factoring technique or the factoring magic, right? With the big X method. And then we use the zero product property. That will give you the two x values, and those are the x-intercepts. If you will write them in the right format, so they were negative 4, 0, and 1, 0. So remember the x-intercepts are on the x-axis, so y-coordinate is 0. So negative 4, comma 0, 1, comma 0. Okay, so that's the algebraic way. Then I'm going to show you the graphing way. Now, I won't go into too much detail about how do I make the graph. I'll show you how to find the, first we'll just quickly find the vertex, and I'll reteach this again. So if you have this equation, same equation, I'm going to quickly go through the graph, and I'm going to explain it again in another example, like another live example during the class. Just kind of quickly show you how this is done. So finding the vertex first. So that's the x coordinate. And then the y coordinate, you plug it back in, right? So that's the negative 3 half in the equation. And then I'm going to do all this fraction stuff here. And it's going to be like a little fast, but I'll kind of go over that later. And then somehow I do all this combining, making like denominators and all that stuff, right? And that will make it 9 over 4 minus 18 over 4 minus 16 over 4. And that is your negative 6/4, which is negative 6.25. So you find the vertex, right? You found the vertex, right? So all you have to do is plot the vertex, right? So negative 1.5 and negative 6.25. And then I'll show you in more detail how I got that parabola. But those 2 points, this is the axis of symmetry, I'm just kind of showing that here. But those 2 points with the x on them, those are the x coordinates. So my focus here is to not to show you how to graph, but I'll show you more later on. But how do you find the x? If you know the points, then how do you read the points? That's the main focus here. So that's the last slide now. Okay. Okay.